Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Birthright as we keep working our way through the Kanasi realms. Today we're taking a look at Min Dhousai, another one of these smaller entries as we get to the end of this section. Before we get into it though, guys, check us out on our Patreon. All the support there helps go right back into the channel, helps us acquire all these old modules and accessories and everything so we can bring you all this content. And again, just a lot of great stuff on there, some exclusives for D&D, Birthright, other settings, and other games. So hit us up on there, guys. A lot of different tiers, easy enough to support. So let's jump in here. Lawful, neutral, and recommended. So this is for players. Now this is going to be a difficult realm to run if you're running the realm. Adventuring-wise, there's always lots of stuff going on. Several different provinces. It is a large territory, largely unsettled in some ways, right? We got a couple of ones and a 0 and a 2, or several 2s actually, but then we have some 3s and a 4 and even a 5. So, lots of opportunity there. The law seems to be under one person's control. Temples, multiple things going on there. The guild situation seems to be largely under one, and the sources as well. And there's a lot of sources there. So, jumping in, it is a kingdom under siege, threatened by the Magian to the east and the Orogs of the Iron Hands to the north. So yeah, you've got threats all around basically, but it's survived only through the most draconian measures. So the army of Kasim, king of Min Dhousai, functions as the state's police force and controls all available law holdings. Their law seems especially harsh. Just speaking out against the king is a capital crime. Most Dhusaites accept this hardship as a necessary condition for their survival because, the Orogs are one thing, but being literally right next to the Magian is, I'd say, probably even more dire. On the temple side, the Shield of Halaya and the Fiery Dawn of Avani both enjoy popularity in Min Dhousai, but the king and his court favor the White Sword of Kurdai, based here in, led by the High Blade Lord, that's a cool title, Farud Min Geirut, level 6 priest, and solid bloodline, chaotic good. So some interesting action going on there. And that could be a whole thing where I don't think they really give us the full details on that temple, but that could be something fun for the DM and the players to build out. And maybe the characters are part of that temple. What's the difference between a regular Blade Lord and a High Blade Lord? Could that become a custom character kit or some sort of prestige thing? That could be pretty cool. Guild activity. In this tightly regulated domain, the king smashes guilds that grow too powerful. Yet Huseti Trosain, level 5 thief, tainted bloodline, neutral evil, a Surianian, makes Min Dhousai the home of his Dragon Sea Coster. This guild, as well as the Dokandra Coster, maintains a scattering of holdings in the realm. So, we mentioned that earlier, but we didn't see it. DC and DRC. The king relies on a coalition of his 5 potent royal mages. So you have a hierarchy there too, to wield his realm's magic as he directs. These mages each control the sources of a province or two, coordinating their realm magic to defend their land and the king. So, yeah, and again, that's something that this realm has in abundance. That's a just ton of sources available, so they will probably be slinging some solid realm spells. The regent, Kasim ibn Rami el Dhousai, level 8 fighter, lawful neutral, very big bloodline, is king and absolute ruler of Min Dhousai. This powerfully built man of middle years, scarred by countless battles, has proven himself a brilliant general. Throughout his reign, he has decisively and repeatedly routed the Orogs of his northern frontier while keeping the Magian's forces bottled up, which is impressive. Again, go back and look at the Magian when we've covered him. Although as a warrior, the king possesses unparalleled skill and cunning, he has less talent at statesmanship. His repressive policies and strong-arm tactics have worn thin, and agents of his enemies work to turn the people against him. El Dhousai likely will react to these assaults with sweeping decrees and harsh crackdowns, a bloodbath in the making. King Kasim relies on 3 high captains, the most senior military officers of the realm, so these would be lieutenants. So of these, the captain of the north, Dunato El Jairar, level 5 fighter, small bloodline, lawful good though, enjoys his full confidence. His strategies and leadership have kept the Orogs at bay for 20 years. When problems arise, the king usually hands them to him, so kind of his right-hand man. Other important NPCs, though, unknown to the king, one of the 5 royal mages, Salim Teraziz, level 7 wizard, so it's up there, and lawful evil, is a dangerous traitor. The royal mages have always been bound to obey the king, but he's managed to elude taking the oath and volunteered to serve King Kasim on the orders of his true master, the Magian. The Anshe regent of the domain directly to the east. He now awaits the right moment to destroy his 4 fellow mages and place the king under his magical control. So as if you don't have enough troubles finding out that there is a sort of a rat in your mage court here is going to be pretty tricky. And also, against a potent wizard, I'm sure the Magian has given him additional tools and tricks, right? So he's not just a generic level 7 wizard. There's definitely some potential there for real danger. But that could be a fun random event or trigger in the realm. The king's relying on his mages. Suddenly, one of them gets killed. Maybe that sends everybody off in like a mystery hunt, murder mystery kind of thing. But just not knowing who the real traitor is or how that would have happened. So there's a lot of great potential there, certainly even for adventuring. Finally, Min Dhousai's great natural beauty matches that of nearby Kurain and Jafra, but its citizens don't share their neighbor's frontier character. For centuries, they've waged war after war merely to survive, and the state feels more like an armed camp than a domain of free citizens. Fortifications and walled estates are common along the borders, and every farmhouse has strong shutters, barred doors, and a bow and a spear by the hearth. The young men of Min Dhousai must serve at least 3 years in the king's army, then drill regularly with a militia company for 10 years after learning service. These very well-trained militiamen, when levied, fight as spearmen, actually, so that's a pretty potent upgrade. So when they raise the militia, they just actually are frontline units, so that's pretty potent. Now, the only downside with these shorter entries are, and considering it's a militarized realm, they didn't really tell us, like what the standing army looks like. So that's a little bit unfortunate, much less RP and starting treasury, so something for the DM to kind of figure out with the players. Certainly, I'd say a decently sized military, given the description, right? You got to fight the Orogs to the north and the Magian to the east. So I would probably say at least half a dozen units, and that's still probably on the small side. And really then just figuring out like a treasury and everything too. So, but yeah, seemingly we get a nice reserve of high-end militia that are actually spearmen, so we have that too. So hit us up in the comments, guys. Let us know what you think of Min Dhousai. Have you adventured here, run it as a realm, or just, again, like regular adventures? A lot of potential here. Hit us up in the comments, like and subscribe, and we'll see you for more Birthright.